Hurricane Irma update number 1. As you guys can hopefully see behind me, got a lot of wind and rain going on. Unfortunately, this ain't Irma. Irma ain't here yet. We've got a lovely little northeaster blowing in here in northeast Florida that started yesterday afternoon and has been giving us nothing but tons of wind and rain all night long and all morning long. This is a bad thing. Irma hasn't got here yet, which means when she does, whatever it is she's going to send us, the ground is already saturated and wet. For those of you that don't know, the more saturated and wet the ground is, the less wind speed it takes to start pushing trees over. It also makes the tree limbs and the leaves and everything heavier with all the water, thus additionally making it require less wind to break limbs out of trees, etc. So this isn't good. As for Irma itself, right now the track, they're still kind of showing it kind of coming up the the western part of the state, right somewhere between like the coastline and just a little inland on the west side. Now at first you may be thinking, oh, that's great, it's tracking more westward. Well, not so much. What that means is guys on the west coast are going to get more of the eye, but the central and eastern part of the state are going to get more of the northeastern side of the storm. And Irma is a typical hurricane in that regards, in that the northeastern and eastern sides of the storm are typically the strongest and most violent. Whereas if the eye wall came right up the middle of the state, you would have a bit of that severity more offshore. So it's you know, there's pros and cons to both scenarios. Yeah, you avoid the eye itself in the middle of the state, but you get all that violent stuff on the eastern and northeastern side. So don't be too quick to be happy about it shifting to the west. Speaking of that shift, I'm still not personally 100% convinced it's going to follow that track. I could see it looping back eastward just a little bit. Time will tell on that. There's no way to be sure on my end. Additionally, the thing that they're starting to be concerned about for us, at least here locally, is that eastern and northeastern side being over land so much and hitting this northeaster that we've got is going to tend to destabilize the atmosphere even more, which dramatically increases the risk of tornadic activity. So yeah, we'll miss the extreme hurricane force winds of the eye wall, but we'll still be getting a lot of tropical storm force winds, maybe even lower category 1 hurricane winds. But with all that destabilization comes the increased risk of a lot of tornadoes, which that can be bad if not worse in some cases. So it's going to be a trade-off. Just because we're not in the eye of the storm and right on the west coast doesn't mean that the central, eastern, and northeastern part of the state are out of the woods. That said, we're as prepared as we can be. We've got plenty of fuel for the generators if and when the power goes out. Got plenty of fuel to cook with. Got plenty of food on hand. The house is solid. We got the front side boarded up for those easterly winds coming in. Not much else we can do but sit and wait and kind of hang out. So that's what we're doing at this point. Just kind of double checking things. I think I'm fixing to go fill up a couple of extra water containers just to have. Can't ever have too much water. And then other than that, if you're not prepared for it now, you're pretty much it's too late. That's all I can say. This is why you stay prepared, guys. You know, we get, fortunately, notices with hurricanes and stuff, but with other things, earthquakes, tornadoes, that sort of thing, you don't necessarily get a lot of warning. You don't have time to prepare. That's why you got to stay prepared all the time. It's not just an event-based thing. You have to do it as a lifestyle. So I'll try to get some more little short clips as I can. This one's probably already running long and take forever to upload. As it is, I've already noticed the internet slowing down a little bit. I think it's getting clogged pretty good with people getting on and surfing the net and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, try to give you more later as I can. If anything eventful happens, I'll try to get it up. Till then, you guys all stay safe out there for all my guys in the rest of the state and everybody else as well. We'll see y'all back again shortly.